What is your American dream?
I'm from the Philippines. My American dream is to have a job wherein I can help people to achieve their dreams, which is the most important thing for me.
I'm American. I was born in New York, and my American dream is to constantly learn and grow and use whatever God's given me to help as many people as I can.
I'm from Belgium, and my American dream is to bring laughter and joy into people's lives through comedy.
My family background is West Indian with roots in Curacao, Guyana, and Puerto Rico. My American dream is to live in a country where everybody loves and respects one another.
My background is Irish and African American. My American dream would be to make enough to live a happy and fulfilling life.
Everyone has a right to the American dream.
Groundhog Sam! Yeah, Brad, groundhogs can swim. I'm telling you we're gonna do laps right after this, all right? Oh, hello there, Brad Squad. How are you today? As you can tell, Groundhog Sam is at a pool. You must think I'm on vacation. Not really. I'm out in the Hamptons with Brad today. But I'm here as his twerking coach. That's why I'm here, yep. And the bet was that Brad agreed to twerk. And so he's living up to his side of the deal. And he did a twerking video that you're all going to see later in the show. And I tell you, he did a pretty good job. And it's all because of me, Groundhog Sam, the twerking coach. Ha 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 ha. In case you missed yesterday's episode of Brad's Show Live, Alex Mensing appeared on the show. He is the project coordinator for Pueblos Sin Fronteras. He helped to organize the 2018 Migrant Caravan and to travel with them, and now he's helping parents and children who were separated at the border get back together. Amazing. Anyway, what's on today's show? You'll have to watch and see. Enjoy. Okay, Brad, laps time. I'm gonna beat you. Ha 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 ha.
I am not in the studio. I am here out in the Hamptons. I'll be joined by Belgium Kim in the studio. We're trying something new. We had some technical difficulties, but I think we figured it out. Had nothing to do with me being in the Hamptons. Had something to do with a groundhog touching buttons that he shouldn't have been touching, or maybe she shouldn't have been touching. We don't know. I know the Brad Squad and the Brad Squad group page was saying it can't be Groundhog Sam. Trust me, it was. We apologize. We're starting a little late, but better late than never. And I should be joined somewhere by Belgium Kim. Are we going to get a split screen here? Belgium Kim, how are you?
Hello, hello.
So, Belgium Kim, you are in my seat right now.
I am.
I don't want you to get a big, grandiose idea. When I come back on Monday, you're moving over to the other seat again.
Listen, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
and meanwhile, you were busy sending out mugs to people.
Yes.
I know that.
Yes.
And we have 2 mugs with mugs already, right?
2 more.
And
yeah.
2 more today were sent in. We have our first mug with a mug. Lisa Bling Rose. Let's see that picture. Oh. There she is. I don't know what she's pouring. Tea or coffee at work. Is she a nurse? Is Lisa Bling Rose a nurse?
I believe
Go put that back. I think she was in Scrubs or something, right? Or nurse gear. She was in nurse gear and bringing her Brad Show mug right to work. The wonderful picture. That's a very pretty picture of Lisa Bling Rose there. And of course, one of our comedians in the Brad Squad, Alec Hockenberger.
Yeah.
He is the one. There he is. There he is. Also with the Brad Show mug. He's the one who coined that I didn't have my gallbladder out. I had my, what do you call it? I had my...
your gallbladder.
My gallbladder out, right? My gallbladder. So I'm in Hamptons. It was a very nice day out here. How was work, Belgium, Kim? Out in New York.
Not as nice as the Hamptons, Brad.
Not as nice as the Hamptons.
No.
Well, I was out of the Hamptons, and Groundhog Sam actually came out with me. Now we're going. Yes. Now we are going to ask people to share. Mm-hmm. Okay. People should see this the better, right?
Oh.
But Groundhog Sam was the camera operator out here, and he was also coaching me on twerking. And I did actually twerk. I can't twerk on the live show because I'm all hooked up into my gear here. Yeah. So, you know, I wouldn't be able to do it all. Right. So we had to do it off of the live show, but I have it. I am a man of my word. I'm doing it. So in about 5 minutes or so, Belgium.
So soon.
5 minutes from now, I am going to be the world premiere. It is the world premiere. Are you looking at me? Who are you typing? What are you typing? Look at me.
I'm telling the people.
Will be the world premiere. 5 minutes.
5 minutes until Brad Bernstein Twerk Fest.
The world premiere of Brad Bernstein Twerk Fest. Okay, please let everybody know the Brad Bernstein world premiere Twerk Fest. Boom, in 5 minutes. But in the meantime, yesterday we ran a contest. Okay, and failed miserably. Now this all started for people who haven't seen our show recently. This all started from the other day when we had to spin the wheel.
Right.
And when we were spinning the wheel, I unfortunately lost and had to play Truth or Dare with at least 3 members of the Brad Squad.
Yeah.
And they've heard 2 truths, and then they got a dare.
Yeah.
And the dare was, Brad, if you weren't willing to answer the question, which I wasn't willing to do, that's right, Twerk Fest, the Brad Bernstein Twerk Fest. I see it up there on the screen. But the game was that if I wasn't willing to answer honestly the question, then I would have to dare. And the Brad Squad came up with, there's Alec Hockenberger again. I don't know if he came up with the dare or not. Okay. But somebody came up, I don't know who it was, but somebody came up with that, Brad, you got to twerk. And I'm like, okay. They're like, twerk now. I'm like, no, I got to twerk, you know, off camera because I'm all hooked up. And nobody believed I was going to do it. And they felt the next day, I felt it in the shares. They're like, you know what? You don't live up to your word, Brad. You're not twerking. I said, I'm going to twerk. And then I was going to do it yesterday, but I got really, really busy. I wasn't able to do it. We did our show yesterday, and in the show yesterday, Yo-Yo, Jonathan Elias said, you know, Brad, if they get up to 700 shares on the show, then, you know, what the other dare, because I had to pick between the dares, which was either wear a toupee for the whole show, as you can see, you know, there's a lack of hair here, so the choice was wear a toupee, and I've never worn a toupee in my life. Okay, so it was. Don't worry, Shauna, we're gonna get it. Okay, Twerk Fest is coming. Okay. By the way, Jilly Bean told me I haven't even seen the Twerk Fest video yet. I just did it and sent it, so I don't know how it was all edited up. I haven't seen it. You haven't shown me yet. Now, Jilly Bean texted me around 5 o'clock, and she goes, "Brad, Twerk Fest is gonna go viral." Now, so I told her, I said, I'm really scared. I don't know if I want to actually see the Brad Bernstein Twerk Fest. But she said it's hilarious and it's going to go viral. So I don't know if it's going to go viral or not. But what we do need, we have 85 people watching right now.
Right.
Okay. I told Jill I'm a little embarrassed about the Twerk Fest. But if we get, once we hit over to 100 viewers simultaneously, I will do the Twerk Fest video. We're at 85 right now. And 15 more people, at least 100 people simultaneously should watch it. As soon as we get to 100 people, Brad Bernstein World Premiere Twerk Fest video, produced and directed by Groundhog Sam. He also, Groundhog Sam did all the choreography as well. And, and apparently, I didn't realize this, he was filmed laughing in the background.
Well, I mean, he's very involved, that Groundhog Sam.
What
a jack of all trades, that one.
He burrows everywhere. So please, now the other thing is this, okay? So I am a man of my word. I'm doing the Twerk Fest video. It's going to come to you in about 2 or 3 minutes as soon as we hit at least 100 combined viewers.
Right.
Okay, so please share. The other thing is this, Belgium Kim.
Tell me.
The other thing is this. The other thing is that, you know, if we do get to 700 shares today, I still will wear the toupee. At 850 shares, not only wear the toupee. Not only will I wear the toupee, but I'll let the Brad squad pick what type of toupee I'm going to wear. In the meantime, I got to say hello to Smiley Smith, Tanisha McNabb, Dionne Watson. I see Jeff Bosey is watching. Tamika Nelson, Chanel Nas wants to know what happened. We don't know. Okay, the technical gods. It was Groundhog Sam. Technical gods from Facebook just didn't want us to go live, and now we figured it out. Jeff Bosey says he wants his half hour back. You're getting it, Jeff. Okay, I would never jip Jeff Bosey of anything.
No.
Willie Williams, hello. Carrie Ann Wallace, Deanna Watson, hello. Cece Mitchell, Malia Lobin Martin. Tamika Nelson says, hey, Brad, Kim Yo-Yo, and Sam. And we're at 100.
We're at 100. That's it.
All right, so now, I said, as soon as we hit to have the world premiere, I don't know if you want to, I'm embarrassed to watch this, Kim. I may have to close my eyes.
Don't so you dare.
Can you please announce, because I am a man of my word, and because I played Truth or Dare, and I didn't do the truth, and I had to accept the dare. That's right, your attorney, the guy with all the knowledge, the guy who sits here and answers immigration questions. I'm not square, right?
No.
Square. I'm not square.
You are not.
I'm going to twerk as well, I guess, right? All right. So, Kim, I'm going to let you announce.
Ladies and gentlemen, the world premiere, the iconic, the masterpiece that is Brad Bernstein twerking. You have earned it. Right here it is.
So I lost Truth or Dare to the Brad squad, and everybody dared me to twerk. What people don't realize is I twerk all day. It was no dare at all.
Go, Brad! Twerk, 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 twerk! Get your back into it! Twerk! Twerk, twerk, twerk! Yeah, Brad, twerk for the breakfast! Twerk like Nicki Minaj, Brad! Twerk like Nicki Minaj!
Clean the barbecue, I'll clean the barbecue.
Okay, but really, really work it! Twerk it! Twerk, twerk, twerk! Go, get lower! Yeah, that's it! Got it!
I followed through. I told you I was going to twerk. I twerked. You shared 500 shares. You got me twerking.
All right, I did it. That's right.
You did.
I did it. You wanted to twerk it. You got it.
Oh, you leaned all the way in.
Now, I don't think we will ever show that again. It will be a one-time only.
You are so wrong.
Oh, my God.
You are so
This
wrong.
is the day the earth stood still.
You are so wrong.
And Natalie Nichols says that is not how it's done. Well, that's how a middle-aged, white, balding attorney does it, okay? That's the best I can do.
Absolutely. That's the only way it should be done. Are you kidding me? That was flawless.
I don't know how else to do it. All right, now, in my defense, Kim, you said to me, Brad, because you called me around 12 o'clock. I said, I'm going to do the twerking video. Yeah. And you said to me, Brad, but you've never twerked before. I go, don't worry. And Kim sent me YouTube videos.
I did.
Right? True.
I did.
And I said, I don't need YouTube videos to twerk, okay? I know how to do it.
Yeah.
I know how to do it.
Yeah, you were like, no need. And I said, obviously, once I saw the footage. You know what? I had the pleasure of editing that, and I have to be honest, it was the most enjoyable 2 hours of work I've ever done.
You enjoyed work today.
Oh man, Jill saw me just crying just the whole day.
Which one was the funniest one? Me twerking, coming out of the shower, brushing my teeth?
What?
Or the twerk in the pool?
When I first
or the one where I'm twerking on the chair. It looks like I'm having sex with Groundhog Sam.
So it's a tie, because the bathroom one, the screenshot of it is just Sam.
Oh my God! By the way, Lisa Bling, I don't mean to interrupt you, but Lisa Bling Rose wants me to do it all over again in slow motion.
Oh, the last 10 seconds are in slow motion. I'm happy to put the whole thing in slow motion, Lisa Bling. Oh, the Nicki Minaj comparison, it could have never have been better. The people got what they asked for, Brad.
And Dane Williams says, "You guys are wicked here. You have that old man out here doing this. Someone please come and get it."
Wait, Anna Nicole said, "This is so funny. I couldn't watch it on my phone. I had to use my laptop with the bigger screen. I'm dying. Someone call 911." Somebody go check on Anna Nicole.
Wendy Brown missed it. Wendy Brown missed it.
Oh, no worries.
Watch Higgs is getting her asthma pump.
No worries, Brad Squad. We will play it again at the end of the show. We promise.
Yeah, so all right. So what we'll do is after the credits are over, if you watch the credits, we'll play it one more time for those who didn't see it. We'll play it at the end of the show for those who didn't see it. But, okay, now the next thing is, they have this old man do everything here, all right?
Yeah.
They got him twerking. Now they got the old man like he's wearing he's bringing in the, the FX guy. It's not just a toupee. I mean, I'm going to be a total transformation of a different. I'm gonna be like Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah, you have any research people today. You're confident.
Just got to get to 700 shares. 700 shares is what we need to do.
It should be easy.
Tell Tim, why don't you tell everybody how to share and Groundhog Sam, after teaching me to twerk, that's how a groundhog twerks. After you tell everybody how to share, why don't you give a little update on where we are with the sharing?
Absolutely. Okay, family, it's the easiest thing you'll do all day. You just hit that share button. There's an arrow or there's a word share. You hit it. You share it on people's timelines. You share it on your own timeline. You share it as a private message to people. You share it in groups. You share it with your mailman, with your like second grade English teacher, whatever. You share it with everyone everywhere. And so far, to get to that 700, so Brad has a costume designer makeup.
I'm like Mrs. I'm gonna be some whacked out Mrs. Doubtfire lawyer guy.
Whacked out Mrs. Doubtfire. You gotta get to 700, family, and we are only at a miserable 52 right now.
Oh my God, we're not getting there today.
You guys.
We're not getting there. After twerking, only 52 shares.
That's
maybe nobody wants to see me.
I think that maybe people are literally still recovering from the twerking, like they are just picking themselves up off the floor. Tamika said her patient just asked her what happened to her while she was watching. We are literally making people have heart attacks. Yeah, Lynn Brown said, "What did I just watch?"
I don't know what you watch. You watch a complete train wreck of a video, but it was done and we did it. And anything for a share, right?
Brad, we're gonna need so much more Brad twerking. Also, whose
idea was the twerking, by the way? Do we remember?
I believe it was Denisha John.
Denisha John said Brad twerk?
I believe it was Denisha John. Denisha John or Glamma. It could have been Glamma. But my favorite line in that entire video by far is, "I twerk all day."
I twerk all day anyway. What's the big deal? That was no dare.
It's the new Brad Show Live tagline. It's going to be Brad Show Live. Answers to your immigration questions. I twerk all day.
All right, so to get to some more serious news, though, because this is a show where we like to help people as well.
Absolutely.
I'm sure you saw in the news yesterday, Donald Trump, after 2 days ago, 48 hours ago, he said, after he created that crisis on the border of charging for the first time in the history of the United States of America, people who entered the country without inspection, caught crossing the border without inspection with a criminal misdemeanor charge. That happened 48 hours ago, separating children, putting the children in detention, sending some children all the way up to New York City, sending parents to California, separating them, and blaming the Democrats and saying this has been the law all the time, which it hasn't been, okay? 24 hours ago, he said, okay, fine, we're going to put the kids and the parents back together in the same jail. How that's even going to happen, we don't know.
Right.
Okay? And then today, he has decided he will no longer be charging. He signed a second executive order about an hour and a half ago. We're still far, far, far away from where Trump needs to be. But he signed a second executive order today saying that he will no longer charge anybody with a criminal offense It is going back to what the laws have always been, which is immigration violations are civil offenses. Deportation is a civil offense, and this became, obviously, after almost 85% of America disagreed. I saw one statistic that 85%, 85 out of 100 Americans disagreed with separating children, making them suffer. Trump said on Thursday that he's directing now, after he created this entire crisis.
Right.
Okay, but this is so typical Trump. After he creates the crisis, after he creates the crisis, to say, okay, now I'm going to fix the crisis that I created. So he says, I am now meeting with my cabinet, and I am asking the Department of Health and Human Services to devise plans so these families don't need to be separated anymore.
And
now, for the last 20 years, since 1997, there was an agreement to end a Supreme Court case that children are not allowed to be in detention for more than 20 days. Period. That was the agreement made between the litigants and the U.S. government to end the Supreme Court challenge to government's detention of children. That is the legal law right now. Children cannot be in detention for more than 20 days. So, I don't know what's going to happen. Obviously it was an absolute disgusting mess what happened. And to tell you the truth, these people have suffered enough just to get to the border. Okay? Now the only legal, rational reason, okay, the only policy, the only legal, rational reason why anybody or why the U.S. government would put people who are applying for asylum in detention is to ensure that they will show up to their deportation hearing, that they don't disappear into the United States of America. Now, there are lots of ways to figure out that they won't disappear and not keep them in jail. And there's lots of ways to do it a lot cheaper than keeping them in jail.
Right.
Okay? There is bail, what bail is for. There are monitoring bracelets, which are not pleasant, by the way, but the U.S. government uses them. They have monitoring bracelets. It's not a pleasant thing to wear, but certainly more pleasant than being in jail and certainly a lot cheaper. And then what happens is after the person shows up to immigration court once or twice, the judge says, okay, you're complying with the rules that we've set up, and they take the monitoring bracelet off. So there's plenty of things they can do rather than cage people in jails to ensure that they show up to their hearing. Meanwhile, in the hypocrite news of the day, and there's a lot of hypocritical news of the day, Belgium, Kim, Ivanka Trump, who is the self-proclaimed advocate for women and children.
Right.
Okay? All the women in the Trump family are all advocates for women, except their husband and father and grandfather.
Right. Except all the men around them.
is a habitual PUSSY grabber, I guess,
right,
for his own admission.
Assaulter, harasser.
So Ivanka Trump, who was slammed for her silence, for not saying anything during this, even though she's an advocate for women and children, or claims to be.
Right.
Now, once her father fixed the situation that he caused.
Yeah.
And it's not even putting families in a jail together doesn't fix the situation.
Right.
Okay? Doesn't fix it in any way, shape, or form. Okay? She writes, now that the executive order has been signed ending family separation at the border, it is time to focus on swiftly and safely reuniting these families that have been separated. What she neglected to say is reuniting these families that have been separated by my own father.
By your father, right.
Yeah. So, meanwhile, Melania Trump claims she was against this all the time and made a trip down to Texas to go visit the kids. Okay?
That does us no good.
Yeah, so instead of going to visit the kids, go take a visit to your husband, to your master bedroom,
right,
and hit your husband over the head with his executive order and tell him to stop this nonsense.
Exactly.
That's what she should be doing. She has direct contact with her husband. Stop flying out to go meet a kid. Go talk to your husband. Okay, so what a bunch of hypocrites.
Exactly.
And meanwhile, she has on the back of her jacket, and by the way, this is a woman who also came here on as a non-citizen,
right?
And luckily married a billionaire to get a green card, but we're not all lucky to marry billionaires.
No, we're not.
Okay. And on the back of her jacket, I don't know if she meant this. Her publicist says she didn't mean it, but it says, but she wrote on the back of her jacket, "I really don't care, do you?"
What?
Yeah. So when Trump's publicist, there it is right there. This is what she wore to visit the children. So either she is really, really, really blind, okay, or really, really, really dumb, or maybe a combination of the two. So when the publicist was asked, she wrote, "I'd hope you guys would want to cover her visit with children today. It's a jacket. There was no hidden message. After today's important visit to Texas, I hope the media isn't going to choose to focus on her wardrobe. It was not an important, this wasn't not an important visit. This is your husband caused this. Instead of visiting Texas, you know, it's making me sick watching these things. Instead of visiting Texas, go visit your bedroom and go talk to your husband. You have his ear. Why are you going to visit these children? They don't want to see you anyway.
No.
They can't speak. What are you going to wave to them?
And there is no hidden message? You're right. It's not a hidden message. It's right there in big, bold letters on the back of her jacket.
Meanwhile, in the Republican Congress is debating between crappy Immigration Bill 1 and extraordinarily crappy Immigration Bill 2.
Good choices.
Okay, both are terrible. Both will make immigrants worse. Trump says he's not going to sign it anyway because he even wants to make a crappier bill.
Great.
So nothing is changing in immigration. Nothing will be changing in immigration. It's just a lot of talk. Okay? Now, the other thing is this. Okay?
Yeah.
The largest raid in the last several years happened today. They raided, the ICE agents raided a meatpacking facility in Northeast Ohio and arrested 146 people, mostly Central Americans, and they always pick on the meatpacking industry. You always see the biggest raids by ICE are in the meatpacking industry. You want to know why?
Yeah, why is that?
Because it's the easiest place to go collect or get immigrants who are working out of status. Because if you talk to anybody who works in the meatpacking industry, it is a horrible, terrible job to do.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
You're dealing with slaughtered animals, the smell, the blood, the cutting. It is an extraordinarily unpleasant job to do. There is not an American in the United States of America that wants to do that job. I guarantee you. And if there is, then maybe there's 5 in total. Okay?
Wow.
So ICE now, that's what ICE is doing. So that's what's going on in immigration. Okay, the fun news is I was twerking. So, because we had to give people some, we had to give people some level of smiling today.
Right.
Okay. Everything else in the news is sad, including Coco the gorilla who died. You know who Coco the gorilla?
Oh, yes.
He was the gorilla who was able to understand about 2,000 words.
Yeah.
And he died. He lived a long age, I guess, for gorillas. He was able to read, and he was able to communicate in sign language. He died at 46. He understood about 2,000 words, and he had an IQ of 95. If we can put a picture of Coco the gorilla and Donald Trump on a split screen, we could ask the Brad Squad, who do you think has the bigger IQ?
Right.
See, this gorilla or the orange gorilla, the black, we don't have an orange gorilla. It's either a black, the orange gorilla or the black, I don't know. So, but he did.
I know.
He was a very maternal gorilla. I actually have a picture of Coco hanging up in my apartment if you ever come. I was into Coco. Yeah, I'll show you when you come up.
It tugs at my heartstrings.
And he had a lot of maternal love to other animals. He took care of kittens. I think there's a picture of him with a kitten that he took care of. And unfortunately, he passed away. He was made famous from the 1985 National Geographic cover, and now the hashtag is trending on Twitter, R.I.P. Coco. Rest in peace, Coco. So that's what's going on in the news. Is there anything else we want to do before we get to our immigration questions at 1-800-529-5465? We have a lot of people who are on hold with their immigration questions. We're going to get to them all in about 2 or 3 minutes. Before we do that, we'll leave the rest of the news for tomorrow. Everything is just sad today. It's all sad news. Let's see if we can help people in the meantime.
Yeah.
Belgium Kim.
Absolutely.
You can. Would be able to, Belgium Kim, if you would be able to, please tell everybody how to share and where we are with the sharing, and let everybody know what happens when you get to 700 shares and when you get to 850 shares.
Okay, family, it's super easy. We're going to tell you one more time. You just hit that share button. It's a little arrow. You share it on your timeline, on your friend's timeline, in a private message. You can copy the link and text it to someone if you want. And today, if you get to 700 shares, and we can do it because you guys have gotten to 500, so I believe very strongly you can do it, Brad will go full Mrs. Doubtfire, wig.
But it's not going to be Mrs. Doubtfire.
No.
We're just giving you an idea.
Right. Like a full transformation.
Like bring a whole, and if we get to 850, we will let Brad Squad pick who I'm going to be. Maybe I'm going to be like dreadlock dude. Right. Or maybe I'm going to be like troll hair lawyer. I don't know.
Right.
We'll figure it out.
You could be just like a gorgeous blonde woman.
Maybe. I don't know. All courtesy of Yo-Yo. But let's go to immigration questions right now. 1-800-529-5465. Please share. What's our share numbers at right now, Belgian Kim?
Our very latest ones are 105 shares. We are 1/7 of the way there.
Go. But we are going to go all the way to 8 o'clock tonight because we did have a 30-minute delay. So we still have an hour and a half to get to 700 shares. And now if by the way, if everybody who's watching at this very moment just shares to 4 different people, we already hit 700 shares.
Right there. Right there.
Right there. All right, so let's go to Mary in Ghana. Mary, how are you?
Hi, it's Mercy.
Oh, Marcy. My apologies, Marcy, because my eyes are very bad. My eyes are very bad, and everything here on my computer in the Hamptons is in very small letters. Marcy, how are you? What's happening?
I'm good, and you?
Mercy. Yes. Mercy me. What's going on in Ghana, Mercy?
Oh, it's fine. Everything is okay. We're just enjoying the cold weather now. Like, we're fine. Yeah.
So, are you going into winter? Are you below the? Are you in the southern hemisphere?
No, it's more like rainy season. So it's cold and rainy and cloudy. Yeah.
I see. Okay, what can I do to help you?
Okay, please, I have a question. I booked for a lawyer tomorrow, but I just wanted to go ahead and ask this before tomorrow. So, I was in Ohio in 2004. Yeah, I came on a visitor's visa, and then I ended up overstaying. But after high school, I met my husband, and we got married. That was in 2007. And then he filed for me in 2008. But because of one or two reasons, we were denied. And we didn't appeal it. I didn't get any deportation letter or anything. But we decided that I should come back to Ghana and then go to school.
You just left the United States? You just left the United States?
On my own. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No
and when was this?
No nothing. That was back in 2010.
Okay. Now, when did you originally come to the United States? I know you told me you got married in 2007, but when did you originally come to the United States? What year?
2004.
Okay, so you had overstayed your time for several years, correct?
Yes.
Before you got married. Okay. So when you left in 2009, you have a 10-year bar before you could even apply for a visa. So you can't even do anything till 2019. What is going on? What is going on with your immigration? I mean, with your husband right now? Anything? Are you divorced?
Oh, no, we're not divorced. We talk. Yeah, he hasn't been able to come down to see me yet, but I haven't been able to go back, obviously. But we do talk. So, yeah.
So what could I do to help you today? You want to get back together with your husband?
Yes, exactly. I wanted to know my chances of because he's desperate to. I mean, it's been a while, it's almost 10 years, so he wants to try and get me back. So I wanted to see how best he could help me, if there's any possibility of it.
Let me explain. All right. So there's two things. Okay. Number one, you haven't seen him in 9 years. Okay. So the government is going to want to see that you're in a relationship with him. They already denied you and didn't believe it was a good relationship for one reason or the other. So he has to. So he has to come visit you at least once, but probably more than once. And number two, whatever the reason why you got denied originally back in 2009 is going to come back up again. So we have to get those records and find out the exact reasons why you were denied. So two things you have to do before we even start. Your husband's got to go visit you. And we got to figure out why you were the first time around. So hold on 1 second and we can help, okay?
Okay, all right. Thank you very much.
Very welcome. All right, let's go to Cheryl in Baltimore. I'm sorry I'm putting my head into the camera, but I can't read it otherwise. Cheryl, how are you?
Cheryl, I'm good.
How are you, Cheryl?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
And I have a pending case, and it has been past the processing time. I try to make phone calls. I send letters. I send the email out of processing time frame.
What is the pending case that you have? Is this citizenship? Is this green card, adjustment? What are you doing?
It's adjustment.
Adjustment. You got married to a U.S. citizen?
No, it's an adjustment to a U visa. And
the adjustment based on what?
Should have been.
Who's sponsoring you? Cheryl, who's sponsoring you?
It's actually, it's a U visa. And
it's a job?
It's supposed to be six months to 8 months, the processing time, but it has been past.
Cheryl, Cheryl, can you answer my question so that way I can help you? Who is sponsoring you again? Who is your sponsor?
Actually, my sponsor.
Yes. Who is your sponsor?
It's an adjustment of status to a U visa.
To a U visa?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you are already been approved for your U visa. Is that correct?
I haven't gotten any information in it because it's already passed.
Cheryl, do you have a U visa?
No, I haven't gotten any updated information on the application.
Cheryl, not answering my questions. So if you don't answer my questions, I can't help you. Okay? It takes about 6 or 7 years to get U visas. So unless you got a U visa 6, 7 years ago or 5 years ago, after you get a U visa, you need to then have a U visa for 3 years before you file your adjustment. And I think what you are doing right now is you are applying for your U visa. You're not applying for an adjustment. That's what I think. And those are very, very long delayed cases. What I would suggest you do is hold on and let's double check what's going on. But I can't help you anymore because you're not answering my questions. But hopefully in a private one-on-one interview, I can help you. Hold on. Okay? So let's go there. And we're going to go to Natalie in Brooklyn. Natalie.
Hi. I have a question. So
go ahead, Natalie.
Evelyn, anybody. I am a resident of U.S. I live in Brooklyn, and I am here now a year on a green card. My girlfriend is back home in Jamaica, but she has a 10-year visa. She's coming up in August, and the plan is to get married. My question is, can I file for her to get a green card, and she doesn't have to go back home? While the process is being done.
So she's going to marry you. It's your fiance then.
Yes, I'm going to marry her.
Okay, fine. And you are a resident or a citizen? You said.
A resident.
Okay, you can marry her, but as a resident, whether it's a same-sex marriage or whether it's a traditional marriage, it's about a 2-year wait. So she would not be able to adjust here. She would have to go home and wait about 2 years unless you become a citizen.
Oh, and does the 90-day rule apply with me?
Yes.
Like I can't marry her before 90 days if she comes in August?
Correct.
Oh, okay. Well, she has a son. He was born over here too. That would mitigate anything different? No?
Well, if she took government assistance for the son, it could be a problem. The other thing is, if, when you have children, unless it was, artificial insemination, there's going to be a lot of questions about, well, you were originally in some sort of traditional relationship, whatever it is, you had a child with a man, now you're in a same-sex relationship, and then they start to question it. Not to say it doesn't happen, and not to say, your relationship is not real, but these are all issues that you have to think about ahead of time.
Okay. One final question. If she comes here and I marry her and start to file and she goes back home, will she be able to travel during that period?
If she has a valid visa, yes. My concern is the child who was born in America. If the U.S., if she came on a visitor's visa, gave birth to that child, and that child got, Medicaid and some stuff like that, it's going to be, she may have a problem with misrepresentation at the embassy. So she has a lot of issues. So before you do anything, let her come visit for sure. And when she comes visits in August, you're in Brooklyn, I'm in Manhattan. Come over and see us before you do anything.
Okay, I would like to make that arrangement to see you.
Hold on one second. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so let's go to, is that Mocha in Atlanta, Georgia? Mocha.
Hi, Brad. Good evening.
How are you?
I am great. Thank you. I've been listening to your show. Great job.
Thank you very much. What's going on? What can I do to help you?
Yeah, I have a question. If I came here and I overstay, I came here, I have a child and my baby is here, but I'm out of status right now. But can an employee file my application, immigration application for me?
Well, you want to be sponsored by your employer. You've overstayed your time on your visitor's visa. The only time an employer sponsorship would work if you overstayed your time on a visitor's visa would be if you're 245I eligible, meaning that you or your parents had something filed before April 30th, 2001, so you can pay the penalty fee here in the United States without going home. Or if you have parents or a spouse here that's legal, and then you can do a provisional waiver and go home and come back without a 10-year bar. Otherwise, you're going to have a problem finishing up your case unless the laws were to change. So I think, if you, the laws haven't changed in 20 years. Trump's can't change the laws. Nobody seems to be able to change any immigration laws here. I don't foresee anything changing in the next few months. Maybe after the Democrats win, God willing, in November, maybe things could change, and they'll change for the better. But right now, do you have parents here?
Yeah, my mom is here.
The mom is here? She's a resident?
She's a citizen.
Perfect. Then you can do a job sponsorship and do a provisional waiver through your mother. So the whole thing would take about, right now, 18 months, and you can get your green card. Absolutely.
Okay.
Hold on one second. We can help. All right? So let's go to BJ, also in Atlanta, Georgia. A lot of people in Atlanta, Georgia. BJ.
Hey.
What's happening, BJ?
So I am a conditional permanent resident, and my husband and I just had our I-751 interview yesterday. I think, it was yesterday. Okay. And at the end of the interview, I think it went decently well. The biggest concern was that we live 2 hours apart. And the immigration officer said that, they'll mail us a decision in the mail. My concern is, the reason we live apart is because I was schooling and I pursuing a degree in entertainment. So I, needed to be in a bigger city for internship opportunities, job opportunities, and such. At this point, I'm unable to find employment in my field.
Well, I know, but let me tell you. Unfortunately, you may be in a bona fide relationship with your spouse, but the fact that you live 2 hours away from each other, immigration, has blinders on like a horse. Okay. So how do they determine whether or not it is a real marriage? You have to prove two things to immigration to prove it's a real marriage. One, you and your spouse live in the same home. Two, you share an economic relationship, which is you do your taxes together, bank statements together, you pay the bills together. So the fact that you walk in there, and you say, I live 2 hours apart because of a job, as you know, because somebody who has blinders on, they can't think outside of the box. Well, why are you doing that? Let me figure out another way to see if this is a real relationship. They have blinders on, and they say, you know what? You're not living together? Not a real marriage. So I don't know what's going to happen. I wasn't there. Okay, and there's certainly rules and regulations in effect that say, you know, you can prove it's a real marriage and not be living together. I just have never seen immigration ever approve those cases ever. So to prove it's a real marriage, you have to live together and have an economic relationship, and your immigration situation is more important than finding the best internship in the world. Now, they may deny you. They deny you. You get to take another bite of the apple before a judge. Listen to my words. Go back and rewind this again and make sure when you go, if you have to go before a judge and you get denied, you have those two things covered. You're living together and you share an economic relationship, and obviously be a bona fide relationship.
Right. Well, we definitely have an economic relationship.
What?
We definitely have an economic relationship together. We file our taxes together. We share joint bank accounts, things like that.
Maybe you get approved. I'm not saying that every immigration officer has a blinder on. I'm just saying that most do.
Right.
So I'm not looking to scare you. I'm just looking to be real with you, you know? So let's see what happens, okay? The good news is you get another bite of the apple before a judge. You can prove it's a real marriage.
Got you. All right.
Hold on one second, okay?
Okay.
All right, so that was BJ in Atlanta, and now we're going to go to James in North Dakota. James.
Yes, hello. Good afternoon. How you doing?
How you doing? How are you?
Good. Thank you. I have one question. My question is, I'm just wondering, how long does it take right now if you feel like a fiancé visa for somebody? You know, what is the difference between
if you want to file for a fiancé visa, they should be here in under a year.
What was it?
They should be here in the United States in under a year if you file for someone with a fiancé visa.
Oh, under a year.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
You're very welcome. All right, let's go to John. John.
Hello? Yes,
John?
yes.
How are you, John?
Brad. I'm doing good, man. I'm doing fantastic. I see what's tearing on the place now with the twerking.
You what?
I see what's tearing on the place with the twerking.
Oh, you turned it off for the twerking. And you still trust me to answer the legal questions. You're like, I just want to start twerking.
No, I have a question.
What kind of retarded show is this, right? All right, so what can I do to help?
Oh, the thing is, remember I called you yesterday regards to my daughter? Immigration sent an email saying that they're going to request additional documents. So we're wondering if they give us until the 20th of next month to submit all the relevant documents that they need. But I'm calling to ask you if you can tell me what are the documents that they're going to request so we can go and gather all of them up in the meantime.
No, send everything at one time.
Yes, no, that's what I'm saying. I don't know what, because I was saying the I-1 already, so they just sending us back an email saying that they send the letter already in the mail, so requesting the necessary documents, but we're saying that we don't know what are the relevant, what are the documents they need, so they're asking you maybe to give us insight.
They sent you an email saying you're going to need more documents, but didn't tell you what it is?
Yeah, no, they said they sent it in the mail, so I was calling you to ask you if there's a possibility where you can tell us maybe what are the relevant documents you're going to request, so we can gather them up in the meantime, because they give us until the 20th of next month to gather all.
Yeah, but I don't know what documents they're going to request. It all depends on what you left off the case. They're asking you for documents that you didn't that you left off the case. I don't know what you left off. So if you want, so in other words, if you want, you could have a consultation with me, and we can go through copies of everything that you filed, and then I'll tell you what's missing, so you can start putting it together, so you're prepared for when they get that letter. But I don't know what they're asking for, because I didn't file it. I don't know what's in what you put in there.
Oh, okay. I thought okay.
All right. It's not like it's a standard letter that everyone who files an I-130 now has to submit the next document. It doesn't work. It depends on what you're getting that letter because you didn't do it right the first time. I don't know what you didn't do right, though, unless I look at your applications.
Okay.
All right, so hold on one second, all right?
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. All right, so let's go to Camille in Chicago. Camille.
Hi, good afternoon. How are you?
How you doing, Camille?
I'm good, thank you.
What's going on? What can I do to help you?
So my question is, I came here in the U.S. on a tourist visa. So that was back in April 2018. And then my I-94, I was given 27 days. So technically, I have now overstayed for about 27 days. And then I do have a active USRN license for the state of Illinois. And then I walked into a few interviews, and then I had I got some job offers, and there are some facilities that are willing to petition me or sponsor as my employer. However, my problem is
you're going to get Camille, you're going to get sponsored as an RN. Even though you have a Illinois license, you still have to submit all your documents to what's called the CGFNS and get what's called the CGFNS visa screen. Have you done that?
Yes. No, not yet. I'm aware of that. So my question is, since I have overstayed for about 27 days, can I still adjust my status while in the U.S.?
Can adjust your status. There's something called Section 245K. What Section 245K says is that if you have a visa immediately available to you within 180 days of your overstay and you did not work illegally in the United States, you can adjust your status still. So you're from the Philippines, I assume? Am I guessing right? Okay. So you're from the Philippines. Let's look at what the priority dates are for July 2018 for nurses. So nurses would be either the third category or the second category. So the third category, they're up to January 1st, 2017. That means that people who started in the third category as your regular registered nurse in January 1st, 2017 are getting their green cards. We're in July of 2018. So in that scenario, you would not be able to, if you got sponsored as a general registered nurse, then you would have to go back to the Philippines and you would have to wait about 1.5 years to get your green card to come back and work for the facility. Now, if on the other hand, you were to get sponsored in a higher level nursing position, an advanced practice nurse, a operating room nurse, a practice management nurse, something that would be an advanced practice nurse, then you can get into the second category. And I don't know whether you have the qualifications for it. Then you would be able to adjust because the second category is covered. Those are your only two options for nursing.
Okay, I understand.
You understand?
Yes.
All right. All right, so hold on if you need help, okay? All right, so let's go to Camara in Euless, Texas. Camara.
Hello, how you doing?
Hi, Camara. How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
Good. What's going on?
Yeah, I came to the U.S. in March 2017. I came on an A2 visa.
Right.
Yeah, and my I-94 expired in June, but I met my wife in July. We got married. We've been together for a couple of months, but she was so abusive to me, and she was violent, so I walked away from the relationship. I walked away from the marriage in October, and she filed in a divorce, and the divorce was granted in February. In March, I went out of stardom. So since February, since October, we got separated. I fell into another relationship, and soon my divorce was completed in February. In April, I got married.
Okay.
Are you getting me?
I got you. You got married. You overstayed your visa. You were in an abusive relationship. Your wife divorced you, and now you're remarried to a second woman. I got the story.
Yes, I remarried, and now we are living together. But the problem is that we are now on the immigration process, but a little bit overstayed my visa because of the divorce proceedings I was going.
That's okay, as long as you're married. As long as you're married to an American citizen, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay, and secondly, my wife I got married to, she's a single cell, and also she receives Social Security disability income on the monthly basis. She's not working, so I don't know how to file in the paperwork since she's not working, and I cannot get.
Well, you're gonna file saying she's not working. She gets disability because of a medical condition, and if her disability is not enough, you would need a second affidavit of support from somebody else. But her getting Social Security disability because she has sickle cell anemia is not a reason to deny your green card. So you're probably going to do an affidavit of support from her with her Social Security disability income and a second affidavit of support from a second person.
And she has never done her tax return before. I don't know if she needs to do her tax return or it doesn't require.
You would have to speak to you have to pay taxes on Social Security disability pay, but you would speak to a tax attorney. I have a tax attorney here in my office.
It's not taxable. Her tax return is not taxable, so she don't do taxes.
Okay, well then if you say so. I'm not a tax expert, but if it's not taxable, fine. But she still has to prove what she gets in disability.
Okay, and lastly, the issue of the lease agreement. We have an apartment that two-bedroom apartment we share with somebody. We pay some amount, but our name is not on the lease. Her name is not on the lease. My name is not on the lease. Only the person that we stay with on the lease. So now our document have been filed to immigration. So how they said they are going to mail our document? Are we going to receive the mail to the apartment where our name is not on the lease, or how is it going to be like?
Well, you can say that you live at that apartment and say that, and get a P.O. box at a local, UPS store, or FedEx store, whatever, for mailing purposes. So you could have a mailing address, and your permanent address doesn't have to be the same. You can use a P.O. box for your mailing address if you don't think you're going to get the mail.
So they won't send my document to that address once my name is not on the lease?
If your name's not on the lease, if you get your mail there, great. And if you don't get your mail there, then get a P.O. box. You still got to prove you live there. But whether you get the mail there or not doesn't prove whether you live there or not. Living there, physically living there, is one thing. If you're concerned about will I get a piece of mail from immigration, you can use a P.O. box. That's what I'm saying. Hold on, but we can help you. Hold on, all right? All right, let's go to Marie in Cincinnati, Ohio. Marie.
Yeah, hello?
Hi, Marie.
Hi. How are you?
What's going on? Good. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
What's going on?
I have a question. My mom came here and she applied for asylum. And when she get that, she applied for me, and I come like asylum dependent. And I was 20 years. And now I live here for 1 year before I adjust my status from I-94 to green card. And I get my green card for 4 years now. And I want to know if I can apply for citizenship, because I read online that if you are asylum, you got asylum status, and you get your green card 1 year later, after 4 years, you can apply for citizenship.
No, you have to be a green card holder for 5 years. That's not true.
Okay.
All right. So as soon as 90 days before the 5-year anniversary, you can file for your citizenship. And then once you're a citizen, you can file for mom.
But I read on USCIS website that if you get your I-94,
I don't know what you're reading, but I do know what the law is, and you got to be a green card holder for 5 years for citizenship.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Welcome. All right. Hold on there. All right. All right. Let's go to Kanish in is it Kanish or Kanish in Kingston? Kanish.
Yes, good afternoon.
How are you, Kanish? What's going on?
I'm okay. I have a question, right? I'm in Jamaica, and my boyfriend is in Bridgeport. The thing about it is that he was filed for by his mother 4 years ago, coming October. But we want to get married, but he's saying that he has to wait until he gets his citizenship first. However, I know that people come back and marry to them spouse and whatever and file for once they have the green card.
He doesn't have to wait on his citizenship. He should go and marry you now, file for you, and when he becomes a citizen, it'll go faster. Okay? But certainly, the longer you're married, yes, what you're saying is right, what he's saying is wrong.
Okay, because I know, but what he's saying is that, and he's trying to convince me that it's out to somebody, and he said whatever, but I said, no, I know it's 4 years coming October now since he's going to be over there. And he wants to come back and get...
Yeah, I'll tell you why. These are the choices. He can wait one more year before filing for citizenship, then filing for citizenship, then going down to Jamaica. Okay, so waiting a year, that is 1 year, 12 months. Citizenship's another 12 months. It's 24 months. Now he's a citizen. Now he goes down and marries you. And now to file for you, it's another 24 months. It's 3 years you're waiting. Versus he goes and marries you now. If he never becomes a citizen, you'll be up in 2 years. If he becomes a citizen anytime over these 2 years, it'll be, a few months after he becomes a citizen. So it's much faster if he marries you now.
Okay, thank you. Next question. How long before him can apply for the citizenship? Being as though he's there 4 years, but you have to wait until the 5 years, or you can go ahead and start now.
90 days before the 5-year anniversary, you can file for your citizenship.
Okay, thank you so much.
Very well. Good luck. All right, let's go to Lyle in Las Vegas, Nevada. Lyle.
My name is Layla.
Lila, excuse me. Hi, Lila. How are you?
I'm fine. My question is, I was planning to go to a foreign country and then marry my spouse, and I'm asking regarding what are the requirements for that.
Wait. I didn't understand. You broke up. Say that again.
I was planning to go to a foreign country to marry my spouse, and what are the requirements for that?
You got to say it one more time. I apologize. I'm going to try to listen.
Okay, so I'm planning to go to a foreign country to marry my spouse, and what are the requirements for that?
Okay, okay, where is your spouse? You want to get married, and you want to know what the requirements for marriage. Where is your spouse?
He's in Asia.
He's in Asia. Okay, so you need I assume you've met him before. Is that correct, Lila?
Huh?
You've met him. You've gone to Asia multiple times and have met him.
No, we met online, and when I'm just
okay. So you've never met him. Married. Okay. All right. So requirement number one is you got to meet in person. Okay. So when you go there, take lots and lots of pictures because you got to prove you're in a relationship. Have a lot of proof that you and him have corresponded for a long time. You go and marry him. Then I need, or you will need, or whatever, whoever's going to file for you will need proof you're a citizen. His birth certificate, if either of you were divorced before, divorce decrees, or death certificates from prior spouses, 4 passport photos from him.
I'm having trouble hearing you. What was that?
Okay, I will say it again, and if not, you could always go back and watch this, because this lives on Facebook forever. Okay?
Okay.
So what we'll need is, A, you got to prove you live together in a real relationship. I mean, not live together, you got to visit several times. Now, you can go and marry him once, but if you come back to America and never go visit him again, he's going to have a problem with the embassy. So you will have to go visit several times. But you can marry him on the first time. When you go visit, make sure you take lots of pictures to prove you visited and spend time with him. The second thing you're going to need to do is file an I-130 visa petition for him. The I-130 visa petition, you have to prove you're a citizen and you were both free to marry, meaning you're divorced from other prior spouses, or that there's death certificates from prior spouses. You're also going to need 4 passport photos for him, 4 for you, and you're going to file the I-130 and the I-130A, and that starts the process.
So if I go there to marry him, it's still possible, correct?
It's impossible? It's not impossible. Of course you can marry him.
It's possible. It's possible, I said.
Yes, it is. Absolutely. Okay, but you got to.
So the first time I meet him, which is like the first time I meet him,
you can get married.
It's like I'm married.
What?
Yes, I marry him. Exactly.
Okay, fine. What? Okay, now you go back and marry him.
Because we video chat. We talk for about a year.
It's wonderful. Now let me talk now. So let's say you go and marry him. You come back to America. Okay, you've now met him once, and on your first visit, you married him. You were going to file a
I
visa.
was planning to marry him in his foreign country, not in America.
I understand that. You go to Asia and marry him.
Uh-huh.
You have met him one time in your life. On your first visit, you marry him. You then you leave him in Asia. You come back to America. So he doesn't have a visa to come here to America. And then you file what's called an I-130 visa petition for him. And now it will take about 1 year for him to come to America. If you never go visit him again, if you never go visit him again, I doubt he would get his green card. They're going to say, what kind of, BS marriage is this? So, yes, you can go marry him, but you'll have to go visit him several times thereafter. You got to show it's real marriage.
Okay, so if I don't visit him for a year, then there will probably
all right, you're going to need a consultation. Hold on. You're going to need a consultation. Hold on. All right, let's go to Jessica in Provo, Utah. Jessica.
Hi. Hello?
What's going on?
I had a few questions. So I am currently in the U.S. on a student status, along with my son who has an F2 status. I got married to a U.S. citizen a year ago, and I wanted to know what documents do I need to file to change our status or to apply for residency at this point.
So how old is your child?
He's 5 years old.
Okay, fine. And the man you married is a citizen?
Yes, he is.
Okay, so you're going to file an I-485 application, which is the adjustment, an I-130, and this is going to be one whole adjustment for you and one separate adjustment for your son. So you're going to file two adjustment applications. I'm just going to take you through what one adjustment application looks like. You need an I-485, an I-130.
That's the I-45?
I-130.
Yes.
An I-130A.
Yes.
An affidavit of support, I-864.
Yes.
The I-765 work permit.
I-865.
And the I-131 advance parole. You're going to do one set for you and a separate set for your son. You're going to pay the filing fees. You're going to need 3 years tax returns from your husband. You've got to follow all the instructions on all the documents. But I'm happy to have a consultation with you to explain much more detail. All right? So hold on 1 second. And now we're going to go to Cher, Fort Lauderdale. Cher.
Hi, Brad. I have a quick question. How are you? Hello?
Hello?
Are you hearing me?
Hello? Hello? Everyone's telling me to drink water. I'm going to drink water. Go ahead.
Okay, my question is this. I have a pending I-485 application. I did my interview December of 2017, and I haven't heard back since. Do I need a lawyer?
What happened in 2017?
I applied to adjust status I-485 March of 2017. I did the interview December of 2017, and I haven't heard back.
Yes, you need a lawyer. You haven't heard back in 8 months. You should go get a lawyer. Absolutely. Something's involved.
Okay.
Okay. After you go for an adjustment interview and you haven't heard in 120 days, go get a lawyer.
Okay. So I'll be able to book a consultation with you through this medium?
Yeah. We can do it over the phone. No problem. We handle clients in Florida all the time. Hold on 1 second. All right?
Okay.
All right. So that's going to put on hold. And let's go. Finally, our last call of the day, Jackie in Belvedere, New Jersey. Jackie.
Hello.
How are you?
Hello.
Jackie.
Hello, Brad. How are you?
Good. What's up?
I'm having a big problem. I'm married to a U.S. citizen from 2015, November. We went in for interview. I've received this. I'm on my third work permit, and I haven't received my green card yet.
Okay, and this was in New Jersey?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you the same thing I just told Cher from Fort Lauderdale. If you've been waiting 3 years after an interview and you don't have a green card, go get a lawyer. You want me?
Okay.
Pretty good. Okay, hold on. All right. So with that, let's see if we can find Belgium Kim. Belgium Kim around? Or she left for the day? Hello! Back in the studio. And now you're back.
Listen, I saw the twerk video and I was like, my work here is done. The day is over.
What have you been doing while I've been answering questions for the last 45 minutes?
I have been tweeting up a storm because people can ask their questions via hashtag #BradShowLive or using @BradShowLive. I've been chatting with people in the comments who are dead, dying, and done over the twerking. Still haven't been able.
Still talking about it.
Still can't get over it.
We'll show it again.
And I posted to our Instagram story to let people know that we're going until 8 p.m., folks. Double dose. All
right.
Extra dose.
All right. So you double down on that.
Exactly.
All right. So where are we at with sharing? Am I gonna? I don't think I need to go buy any. I don't need to go to. Because people think I'm like going to Ricky's Pharmacy or like the Halloween shop. No. This is like real stuff, right?
It's real stuff. I think I don't think that I need to. I think I can stop my search for a makeup artist because right now we are at a measly 165 shares.
We're not making it.
But Natalie Nichols had a really good theory. She said that everyone has died from the twerking and they're too distracted.
No one could share. All right. Well, see, maybe next week they'll catch up. All right.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's go to something that we like to call here at Brad Show Live. Social media check-in.
Okay.
Right, this is where Belgium Kim gets to ask me questions that you asked of Belgium Kim.
Exactly. It's super efficient.
This is her job. This is your job, right?
Yeah, this is exactly why they pay me the big bucks.
All right, let's go.
Sherry wants to know, if you apply for citizenship 1 month before your green card expires, can a person still work? And I have no criminal offenses, past or present. And also, what should I do to keep my driver's license active?
She applied for her citizenship?
Yeah. Before, she said if you apply for citizenship 1 month before her green card expires.
Of course you can work. You're still a lawful resident. Just because your green card expired doesn't mean you're not a lawful resident. You just don't have proof of it. But of course you can work.
Ya says, the case is over and I've paid a fine and all, but now I'm doing probation. So could I file for citizenship after I've finished my probation? I'm assuming this is a criminal case.
Yes. Generally what the law says is while you're on probation, you can't prove good moral character. It's impossible under the law. That's what the law says.
Right.
So the day you get off of probation, you got to have 5 years good moral character. You have 1 day of good moral character. So you got to wait 5 more years from that date before you're filing your citizenship. And then we got to figure out, are you eligible for citizenship? Are you a deportable alien because of whatever you did that got you on probation? So you're way off from citizenship.
Richard says, I've been married to a Trinidad national for 3 years in August. Does anyone know if there would be potential difficulties in getting her a visa to bring her here in the States just to visit family?
Yes, you have to prove that that person is going back to Trinidad. If you're married to her, they're going to think she's coming to live here.
Victoria said, good day. I'm just wondering if my daughter would be able to bring her younger sister here in the U.S. My ex-husband petitioned for her in 2010. She's F2B category, but my daughter really needs her sister here in the U.S. Could you give us some advice and if we can do that to invite her here and my daughter actually needs help with her 4 kids. And now she's about to have another baby. So she needs her sister to come
yeah,
help.
there's no visa for our sister to come help and be the nanny.
Right.
If you filed an F2B petition in 2010, they're up to August 15th, 2011, unless you're from the Philippines or Mexico. So unless they're Philippines or Mexico, this child's eligible for a green card right now. Philippines and Mexico, you got about another three years to go.
Jennifer says, I'm under the K-1 visa and I'm already here in Kentucky. We already got married and filed my papers last January, so January 10th of this year. Did her biometrics at the end of February, and until now we haven't heard anything since the biometrics. We've been waiting so long and it's really frustrating. Could you guys help us on a case like this?
Of Yeah, we could always help you, and you should always have a good lawyer representing you. But it's not surprising to wait 6 to 8 months from the biometrics to get your appointment.
So she shouldn't be worried just yet.
She should be worried because she doesn't have an attorney who knows what they're doing, and this is her life. And I can't believe that people in this day and age with Donald Trump as president of the United States who wants to deport everybody would ever go into the immigration service without an attorney. It just boggles my mind. Thinking that, yes, the person at the immigration service will be helpful to me. You're typing that to her.
I am literally typing that and saying it is preposterous to do your filings without an attorney in this day and age. It's exactly what you said, Brad. Jennifer, we've got a question from Marianne who says, good morning. I'm a single parent, green card holder for almost 3 years now. Could I go ahead and file for my citizenship?
As a single parent, no, you have to be a citizen. You have to be a resident for 5 years.
Fritz Bofiel Perez has a long question. He says, we are J1 visa and J2, but we have a waiver to come out from USCIS. Our waiver was approved already in our country of the Philippines and was endorsed by the Filipino Embassy to the Department of Secretary of State and forwarded to USCIS for final approval on the waiver. May we know if my wife got an H-1B later on, or could you help us get a green card? We're living in... We
can, but you still need USCIS to sign off on the waiver before we do any applications for you.
G. Mawini says, I got my immigrant visa before getting married. During my interview, the counselor asked if I was married, and I said no because back then I wasn't married. Now I'm here in the U.S. alone, and I want my wife to join me, but I'm afraid that because I told them that I'm single and it's written that I'm single on all of USCIS's paperwork, it's going to get me in trouble. What do I do?
You will get in trouble. You lied. And it's very possible that you jumped the line by saying you were single when you were married. You got a big problem. Come see me. Stop telling about your lies on the internet to everybody.
Well, he was saying that when he first filed, though, he was single, but just by the time that the interview rolled around, he was married.
It's a misrepresentation, and he shouldn't be saying that on the internet to the world.
Also, don't talk about illegality on the internet, people.
Correct. Correct.
Jennifer says, I'd like to adopt my sister's daughter. How do I go about doing that as a citizen?
You can, but she has to be an orphan, or the child has to be stripped, or your sister's daughter. Your sister has to be stripped of the parental rights for her daughter. So that's the way to get a child here, is to orphan that child. Either the parents are dead, or the parents had their parental rights stripped. So before you start filing anything, come see me. Before you go do an adoption in another country, come see me. Because if you do an adoption in another country and the parent consents to the adoption, that is not an orphan petition. And unless that country is part of the Hague Convention, and most countries are not, that child will never get here. Come see me first.
Maureen says, my question is, what's going to happen if you don't apply for your citizenship within the 90-day period? Is it possible to apply for it at a later time?
You can apply for your citizenship at any time after the 5-year anniversary of you having your green card.
Jennifer says, could I file for my father's wife? He was a citizen, but unfortunately, he passed away just a few months ago right after he got married.
If the marriage happened before your 18th birthday, you would be a stepchild of the father's wife. Otherwise, you can't do it.
So would the wife have any other recourse?
Well, if the father was a citizen, maybe a widow petition.
Okay. Cordella said, if someone met their spouse on Facebook, could that person file for a fiancé visa to get them here? The person is a citizen, but they've never visited each other.
You got to meet unless there's some religious reason why you've never met. Have to meet.
A religious like an arranged marriage kind of situation?
Yeah, maybe you're not supposed to meet, some sort of, you need some religious, waiver to say, the reason why we never met is because my religion forbids it.
Gotcha.
Short of that, you got to go meet.
Gotcha. Safi says, I'm a U.S. citizen, but my husband is under supervision. He had deportations on him, and we now have 3 children together. How could you help us?
He's under supervised release?
Yeah, it says that he's under supervision and he had deportation on him. So it kind of sounds like he
All
was...
right, so what happened is that he was ordered deported, and whatever country he's from is not taking him back. So how can I help him? Well, we got to reopen his deportation case. How do I reopen his deportation case? Got to make a motion to a judge. What are we going to say in the motion? I don't have the slightest idea. I got to look at the records first and then see if it's possible.
Our fan says, my daughter has a green card. Could she apply for parents' protection for immigration?
Parents' protection for immigration. Parents' protection. I don't know what parents' protection for immigration is. There's no such thing as parents' protection for immigration. I don't know what they're asking. Could you ask the question again?
Well, I mean, I literally read it verbatim. I'm going to try and
read it verbatim again, and then let's see if we can decipher what they're asking.
My daughter has green card. Could she apply for parents' protection for immigration?
I think she wants to. Can I file for my parents?
Exactly.
And the answer is she has to be a citizen first.
Mary Anderson wants to know: could a green card holder file for their spouse?
Yes.
Barry Ann says, my cousin did his interview but has not gotten any response yet. Can she go ahead and travel?
No, she needs an advance parole to travel. Otherwise, she's got her application denied. Belgium Kim, where are we at with sharing?
Listen, Brad, let's find out really quickly. The last I saw, it was in the 160s. Now we've just crept up by a mere 7 shares with 172.
172.
I don't think I'll have to call the makeup artist today, Brad. I don't know about you. I don't think they want me to call the makeup artist.
I think they like bald Brad.
I think that, you know,
I don't think it's like a prize for them to see me with hair. I think they like bald Brad.
I think they just like Brad.
We're not sharing. We like bald Brad. We're giving them a bad prize then, maybe. We got to rethink this prize here.
Is it?
And you know what? And I'm going with Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias, because he was saying to me, even after the show, he goes, Brad, they're all going to want to see you with a toupee.
It's fantastic.
And you know what? Apparently they don't. They like bald Brad.
Because I want to see you with Fabio type hair. Like, I want to see you have to flip it and get it out of your face. Like, come on, guys.
Like a bald Brad. All right, we're going to come back to, we have actually Jennifer from Texas who's holding for like 20 minutes.
Okay.
So let me speak to Jennifer from Texas.
Yep.
And then we're going to introduce one of Rebecca's clients who had a great experience with us. Ooh. And also had a great American dream situation where she came, out of status now as a business owner. So we're going to talk to her for a little bit too. Let's speak to Jennifer first though. Jennifer, how are you?
Oh, I'm fine, thank you. Yes. I have a question. I'm a citizen. My husband he's already here for 5 years. Can he file his citizenship now?
Your husband is a citizen of what?
He's here. He's here already with a green card from me. My family's here. But I'm asking, he's already 5 years working here. Can he file for his citizenship now?
How long has he had his green card?
5 years, last year, December.
Yeah, of course. Yes, absolutely. He can file for citizenship.
And my next question is about my father's wife. That my father passed away 3 years ago this year, but he married, and it wasn't that long after he married, he died. So, can I file for my father's wife?
Only if he married her before you were 18 years old.
Oh, he married when I was way older than 18, so that's a no, right?
Yeah.
As a widow, you can't do it?
No, so you won't be able to do that. You won't be able to file for your father's wife.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Very welcome. Okay, good luck. Okay. All right, so earlier this week, we were able to speak to a woman by the name of Tracey Reid. Now, Tracey is a client of Spar Bernstein. She was represented by Rebecca Linetsky, who's one of our fantastic immigration attorneys.
Absolutely.
Now, Tracey has her green card now. All right? She didn't have a green card here for a very long time, but she has a green card now. And she has a great story because she's a small business owner and how she went from absolutely nothing to having a green card and now having a small business. It's a nice American dream. I hope Donald Trump is watching this.
My name is Tracey Reid. I'm the owner for Lionheart Herbs and Spices. I've been in business for the last 18 years. My parents are from Jamaica. I was born in London, England, and raised in Toronto, Canada. I came to the United States in 1999 to start my own business. When I got here, I was very enthusiastic because I knew New York was already culturally diverse and very strong. Not having a green card posed a lot of different challenges. Even though I came with a lot of ambition and motivation to start my own business, there was a lot of store rentals, but because I didn't have a strong credit history, it was very difficult. I had acquired a tax ID number from the government in which I used to conduct my business. So I came across the store, and at that time the owner agreed to rent me this premises for commercial purposes, and I was very excited. You know, I had my tax ID number. When I got the store in July, everything seemed to be fine, the ideal space. By the first winter, I realized that everything wasn't so great because one day I went to flush the toilet on a cold day in January, and the toilet was frozen as ice. Not only that the toilet wouldn't flush, that the pipe was making a lot and water was coming out all over. So I called him and he was like, oh my gosh, you busted my pipes. Oh my God, this doesn't look like it's gonna work out. Maybe we need to find another location. You just got here. Well, as time went on and every time it got cold, the pipes would bust. I did a lot of repairs even though it was his responsibility because I was trying not to get in too much tension with him or get on his bad side because we were also coming up to our first lease, which was the 3-year lease, and I continued to pay rent and be in the space, and we went at it all the time because he was not willing to give me any heat and I had to be plugging in heaters. I had to move the store. So my challenge was, how can I get another space and I don't have the proper documents that is required for me to move from there, and I had already established a certain amount of clientele in this space. So not having a green card really kind of hindered me from being able to move forward on that level. I started pursuing immigration lawyers. I spent over $5,000. I continued to pursue, figuring who could I trust, what firms were really going to be somebody that's going to really get me results. I needed to be able to be in a better standing situation. I was very intimidated by the judicial system as far as taking him to court to force him to give me plumbing and heating and stuff like that, because they probably would have asked me for a lot of IDs and stuff in order to fill out the court forms. Some of the setbacks was my inability to travel, to be more attentive to my parents in Jamaica, because they were retirees and I'm an only child, so I wasn't able to really go down there and deal with their affairs and make sure they were okay. So many times I had to buy them tickets to come to New York, to come and see me, be able to buy them things and send them back home, see that they were okay, that they would get to see my sons. So then eventually I finally found Spar Bernstein. Somebody had told me they heard about it on the radio, and so I said, okay, let me go find out what this is all about. I did a consultation and they explained to me how it works. It took some time, but I knew it's something I had to do. In the passage of processing, my mother got very ill, so I couldn't leave automatically. I had to wait, and during the time of waiting, she transcended, so I didn't get a chance to actually see her before she passed, but I was able to travel to go and prepare for her final resting place, and did that last year. But at present, since then, I got my card. Green card. I'm very grateful to be an American and to have a business in this country for that many years. I didn't realize how rough it could really be for somebody outside of the United States to come here and even be a citizen of international countries and still go through some serious tribulations. And some of the things I went through, even with commercially with my landlord, really opened my eyes, because I said, wow, if I'm running a business and I'm going through these struggles, can you imagine people who are just trying to survive in America without a green card and not even having a business but just trying to get a job, or job conditions, working conditions? It must be really triple hard, out there, because I'm working for myself. So you know, I can't imagine what it would be like for somebody who had to, you know, take a job and be under such severe, you know, abusive conditions. So coming to America has really opened my eyes and it's helped me to be a stronger person. And I'm hoping that I can pursue my dreams as a, you know, as a recording artist, and to and a lot of that's in my album. The songs that I write reflect a lot of what I've been through for my years here. Now it seems more reachable because I think I'm able to be more mobile and to travel around, and that people would take me more seriously because I'm able to leave out the United States and re-enter and go to different parts of the world. My dream is to you know, at least have my first album as a recording artist completed and out for the world to hear parts of my journey, to inspire and motivate a lot of people that probably could relate to this journey, and to also tell a lot of people, regardless of what the crisis or circumstances and challenges are, stand firm in your faith, you know, and to be consistent and determined. I'm going into my 19th year at my new location at 782 Nostrand Avenue. And I'm truly grateful to still be a part of this neighborhood and this community. And once again, thanks to Spar Bernstein, who's been very diligently helping me acquire my green card, which I now do have. I'll be able to continue to pursue my ambitions as a recording artist, as a mom, as a store owner, as a community advocate. So, you know, I'm looking forward to putting my album together and just being able to get things on a different level.
All right, so the people were asking where the store is. It's on Nostrand Avenue in Brooklyn. I don't know the exact address, but I know it's in Nostrand Avenue in Brooklyn.
782 Nostrand.
Thank you. 782 Nostrand.
Yeah.
And that was Tracey Reid, and she's a very cool woman, and what a great story, right?
Yeah, an insane story that so many people can relate to, and everybody's talking about how they're going to go spend way too much money in her store. So, all
right. So we got her a green card and gave her some free advertising, but she deserves it.
Man, Tracey knew who to come to.
Yes, we have some questions.
Absolutely, we've got questions, Brad. Eduardo wants to know, my category is F2A. Could I apply for a tourist visa with a pending I-130?
No, you can't. I doubt that they will give it to you. Well, I mean, you could apply, but you got to tell the truth that you have an I-130 pending, and when they find that out, they won't give it to you because they're going to say you have an intent to get your green card.
Sid wants to know, I applied for an I-485 in June of 2017. I got my paperwork, but still no news yet about an interview. Is that normal?
I'm sorry? In June of 2017, he applied for an I-751?
An I-485.
June, if you're pending more than a year, it's now 1 year, that's not normal. Come give us a call or go see a good lawyer.
Burley says, I'm a U.S. citizen living in Belize for the last 12 years. Would it be any penalty or problem if I just want to come back to visit?
No. Enjoy your trip to America. You're once an American, always an American.
Ha. Could you give us some tips on how to become a permanent resident if we are single and over 21 years old?
Go speak to a good lawyer and have that good lawyer find out everything about you, and then that good lawyer will give you what you may or may not qualify for.
Girthy says, I'm a U.S. citizen. Could I go ahead and petition for my niece?
No, no petitioning for nieces. You could adopt a niece who's an orphan, but you can't petition a niece.
Philippe says, hi, I'm married to a U.S. citizen for the last 7 years, and we have 2 beautiful children. They're 5 and they're 3 years old. We're missionaries in Africa since September of last year, and we applied for my green card, got my work authorization, and my social security number, but we're still waiting on the interview for the green card. How long is that going to take? And if I get my green card, is it possible to apply right away for citizenship? Because we're going to want to do we're going to want to return to the mission field as quickly as possible.
Now, you have to be a green card holder for 5 years before you apply for citizenship. You can apply for a re-entry permit, but that would delay your citizenship even more.
Okay. I believe that's all we got for right now. Oh,
okay. You got one last straggler?
I do have one last straggler.
Okay.
We've got a question from Alicia who says, if a parent is filing for a child that's divorced, is that child still considered a fourth preference relative?
A fifth preference?
She said a fourth preference.
If you're filing for who?
If you're filing for your child that's now divorced.
No, it's not a fourth preference. A child that's now divorced is an F1.
Okay.
If you're a U.S. citizen.
I got a couple more stragglers here. You want a few more?
Yeah, just go quickly, all the stragglers.
Absolutely. Michelle says, my mother filed paperwork for my brothers some years ago. However, she used her middle name on our birth certificate, and they returned her paperwork. Can you help?
Yeah, you got to refile again with the proper information.
Rosemarie says, I'm trying to let my son obtain his citizenship, but my son has a learning disability, so I don't know if he would be able to get his citizenship and actually pass that exam. Is there anything is there any kind of help that he could get, given that he has a learning disability?
Yeah, you can go to a doctor, and a doctor can write for a waiver of taking certain tests if he's not able to do it because then he has a medical condition. We can help you with that. I'm not the doctor, but we can, get you to the right doctors.
Okay, I believe that's it. I think I got them all.
All right, so earlier this week, before I left New York City, I spoke with a gentleman by the name of René Colato Laínez. Mm-hmm. Now, René is a Salvadoran immigrant, and he also writes children's books. Now, what makes this special is René, as a 14-year-old, ran across the border with his father, entered the country without inspection, just like what's going on right now at the border.
Right.
Okay? He's now a U.S. citizen, and he writes children's books about depicting families who are entering the country without inspection and depicting families whose one or both parents may get deported and the children get left behind. So it's a good, it's a really good story. Let's watch.
René Colato Laínez is a U.S.-based Salvadoran immigrant and the author of 12 children's books with a unique perspective. He's writing about children in the immigration system and their interactions with the immigration service. The most impressive element of Colato Laínez's storytelling is that he's able to craft a hopeful end to the story without making any false promises to the reader. He's won dozens of awards and honors for his children's books, and we are thankful that he's able to join us today. René?
Hello.
How are you? Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, me too. I am very happy to be here.
So, René, tell me a little bit about your journey to the United States. You were born in El Salvador, and I understand you came here as a 14-year-old.
I remember, from El Salvador to Guatemala, we walked the bridge, and then we took a bus to go to Guatemala City. But in Guatemala, we have to take, there is a river from Guatemala to Mexico, and we took a little boat.
Was it scary to do all of that as a 14-year-old? Were you scared doing that?
Yeah, especially the last part, coming to the United States and crossing the mountains. That was really scary because I was not expecting that.
So what inspired you now to start writing children's books about children going through the immigration process?
Yeah, I am also an elementary teacher, and all my students are from Latin America, and most of their parents are immigrants. Most of the children also are immigrants. Some were born here in the United States, but still they have that feeling of separation, that feeling of they feel that something bad can happen to their parents. And also, I am an immigrant myself, so writing about immigrant children, I also writing about my own experience.
You wrote a book from north to south about a mom who gets deported. Tell me how you were able to write that. Was that hard to write?
I had a girl named Berenice in kindergarten, and one day she was crying because her father was deported to Mexico. So I decided to write a book to Berenice and to all those children who were in that experience. And this is what I brought René from north to south. So in this story, Jose, he meets his mom, and it's everything about separation. And the book starts when the mother is deported, and the book ends when Jose has a dream that one day the mom will become together. What I'm telling the children is maybe at this time they are not together, but there is hope in the future.
Some of the kids in your classroom or have gone through your classes in the past several years, have your books or your experiences been able to help them?
Yes, I have received some, not only for my students, but especially from north to south. I have received so many letters from parents who are away from their children and for children who are away from their parents too.
Now, you following the news lately, and on the front page of every newspaper in the United States is the children being separated at the borders right now. How do you think, you've experienced this as a 14-year-old, so you know what it's like to cross the border with a parent. You lived it. You weren't separated, I assume, from your parent.
No.
I guess it's got to be tough, very tough for them. I think tough is an understatement, very tough for them. What are your thoughts on all of this?
Yeah, it is really tough because when you leave your country, like especially when I left El Salvador, it's very far away. And in your mind, you have a call, Tijuana. Oh, because that was my father told me. When we get to Tijuana, we are very close to Los Angeles, to California. So through that journey, it's like you are running a marathon. And you're hoping to go to that finish line. And when you're finally there and you're celebrating, yeah, I made it, right. They take you away. No, they take you away from that. And that's the feeling like when you finally made it, when you feel like I am finally here, you get caught by immigration, and then it is a new nightmare.
So tell me about some of your well-known books here.
This is my shoes and this is my real journey, because I received brand new shoes from my mom for Christmas to come to the United States. And this actually is my book, living in El Salvador, and then crossing Guatemala, and then finally Mexico.
And this is your entire story on the new shoes your mother bought you for the journey.
Yeah, this is my father, and so this is actually my own story, crossing the mountains and the river.
Is this a book for what age group?
This is for elementary children. They can read this book by second grade.
So now you have another book. It's called René Has Two Last Names. Tell me about that book.
This is my story about coming to school for the first time. But in this book, René will present a family tree to the class, and then they will tell everyone how important it is to have two last names. One of my most popular books is The Tooth Fairy Meets the Raton Perez.
The Tooth Fairy Meets who?
The Raton Perez. Because in Raton Perez, in Latin America, we don't have a tooth fairy, but we have a mouse. The mouse is our tooth fairy. It's El Raton Perez.
You came from a war-torn country. You crossed over several countries to make it to America as a 14-year-old. You have ultimately got your green card and you're a citizen. You're contributing to the culture and the well-being of the United States of America. Tell me if you feel you've reached your American dream.
Personally, I have accomplished my American dream. As a child, I wanted to be a teacher. That was my main dream. And I am a teacher. And also my other dream was to become a writer, to publish my own books, and I am also doing that. My books are everywhere on the internet, Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, and also you can get my books to my publishers. They are also online. And I wish, for the future, for those children who are crossing the border, for those children who are here, that there will be the same opportunities for them.
René, I appreciate it. Thank you very much for coming on. Your books are amazing.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right. So meanwhile, we're getting later on in the evening. I know we have about 5 questions or so from some stragglers. We want to get through that. Absolutely. Everybody's still waiting around to watch the twerking video again.
Obviously. It's the highlight.
So this is what we're going to do. We're going to do our last 5 questions.
Okay.
Unless we get some stragglers to come on while you're asking the 5.
Okay.
Go to comment of the day. We'll watch the twerking video one last time, never to be played again. And then we'll go to our goodbyes to everybody and our disclaimer. We'll go straight from twerking to all right, Sam, I'll read it. Go right to that.
Whew, all right. People are going to hang on.
All right.
So we've got one question from Sang K, who says, if you get pregnant within the 7-year wait while being filed for, is that going to affect the process?
Who's filing for you?
It's a 7-year wait.
That's a parent. I guess a parent. No, it wouldn't affect it.
Natasha said, if a child was born in the U.S., could they live in another country, or would they have to come back to the U.S. every year?
No, they could live in another country. Just make sure you get them a passport.
Marlene said, if your mom got married after your 18th birthday, can the son file for his stepfather at the same time that he files for his mother?
No, because the marriage had to be before the 18th birthday, only for the mom.
Sid had a follow-up question. He was the one who filed the I-485 and has last year in June and still hasn't heard anything. He said that when he checks the processing times online for an I-485, it should take about 14 to 24 and a half months, and he's still in that range. Is that something? Should he be less?
Well, I don't always necessarily believe what I read in terms of immigration processing times. Are never generally correct. What we've been seeing in our offices, depending on what area of the country, but like certainly in New York, it's about 10 months right now, 11 months.
And finally, Mervin says, how soon after I get my green card could I file for my wife and kids?
The next day.
Oh, one more from Gerthy.
One more
Straggler. She says, a mother is a U.S. citizen. She applied for her son in 2016 when the son was over 21 years old. How long is it going to take to get the green card?
About another 4 years.
Perfect. We got them all.
All right. So now what do we have? We have a drum roll, please. We have comment of the day.
Do you want to?
We have the replay. And we're going to do the replay of the twerking video, and then we're all going to say goodbye, never to watch the twerking video ever again, never to surface ever again. All right.
I don't agree to that.
Look at this. As soon as I said twerking video, people are coming back to watch. It's amazing.
Of course they are. So our very first comment of the day, Brad, it's so perfect. And I think, and of course the comments of the day, what do you think the comments of the day have to do with? We got 2.
The tax calendar that everybody's talking about. We'll do the tax calendars back at Christmas. I see everybody love that one.
You know what? They're haters. That was a great segment. I stand by.
I like the taxi segment. I don't know why they didn't like that.
We still use that calendar in the office. We used it during a meeting just the other day.
All right. First comment. Drum roll, please.
Our very first one is from Natalie Nichols. Natalie Nichols says, I have to hire Brad to dance at my bachelorette party. I hope you're ready, Brad. You're going to get a lot of these.
All right, let's go. We have a whole bunch of comments, right?
We got 2. We have 2. We have our second one from Lisa Bling Rose. Someone missed you twerking, Brad. It's unbelievable. I don't understand how they could have missed you twerking, but they did. And do you know what Lisa Bling said?
What?
Get your mug and your popcorn and tell the boyfriends to leave the room. Yeah, she said, watch it with your popcorn. She said, tell everybody to excuse themselves. It's just got to be you and Brad for this.
All right. Final, the last and final, no more comments of the day.
No more comments of the day. But Brad, you realize this is going to be on Facebook forever.
I realize that, but I have the ability to.
But
finally, ladies and gentlemen, back by popular demand.
Yes.
Never will happen again. Oh, yes. Okay? Only because by popular demand. All right? Belgium Kim, I will ask you to please hand me all of the backup tapes for the twerking video. Please.
No.
All right.
No.
Ladies and gentlemen. Now, for those who like, why is this lawyer twerking? Again, I lost the truth or dare. I said I was going to do it.
Yeah. You're a man
and
of
my
your
word. Okay, let's watch.
So I lost truth or dare to the Brad squad, and everybody dared me to twerk. What people don't realize is I twerk all day. It was no dare at all.
Go, Brad! Twerk, 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 twerk! Get your back into it! Twerk! Twerk, twerk, twerk! Yeah, Brad, twerk for the breakfast! Twerk like Nicki Minaj, Brad! Twerk like Nicki Minaj!
Clean the barbecue, I'll clean the barbecue.
Okay, but really, really work it! Twerk it! Twerk, twerk, twerk! Go, get lower! Yeah, that's it! Got it!
I followed through. I told you I was going to twerk. I twerked. You shared 500 shares. You got me twerking.
All right, everybody. Good night. That's it. There will be no more twerking. I got to go find some tequila now after watching this. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you all tomorrow, 5:30. So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein Law Firm, located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK. 1-800-529-5465.